next article is with Microsoft, with their $2 trillion market cap, because
Flex.
they flexing right now.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
like I think we talked about earlier, like Microsoft don't have nothing that's not for sale. Yeah, I mean, like they ain't working the ad market. Yeah, I mean, they working straight products. We got products, we got services. You want them, you pay it, and that's working for them to a T. Yeah, I mean,
Everything.
That's just working for them, and it worked for them to the part that they got a $2 trillion market cap. We talked about Apple having that a while back, and they've been fluctuating up and down. They ain't really like peaked beyond that. They went under as soon as they hit it, and they both sort of sitting in that range. But with Microsoft, they doing it because they have everything. They reinventing themselves, and they doing the stuff that people like for real. Office 365. People love it. I mean, it's really, in a lot of ways, they cloning things that other people have done. Yeah, I mean, or are doing, but it's whatever. That's the market that they in, and people cloning them. So why not go the other way around, type shit, right? So,
I think it's what it seems like with everybody. So with Microsoft, they have their core audience just like others do. It's just that I think, but because of it could be the prestige, it could be the level of like the respect that folks have for Microsoft. It can be like it can be multiple factors, but it seems like Microsoft users, whether it be the Xbox, whether it be all the Office suite, whether it seems like they are willing to pay. Other folks are not willing to pay, and because folk like Microsoft folks they're willing to pay, they're able to constantly grow and like have steady growth. So it seems like they charge. That's why they charge. Yeah,
it's like an expectation of paying. Like you already know when you come into Microsoft, you're expecting to pay. You ain't having no expectation that you're supposed to get this stuff for free.
There's no hidden fees or nothing.
This, and when they give something away for free, is great. Like they like, oh shit, they giving it for free. Oh wow, thank you, Microsoft. But like off top, like it's gonna cost. They not making money off of ads. They not Facebook, they not Google, they not making money off of ads. So like that's how they do it. And so that means that they gotta come out with a product that people even need or want. And
to make sure that it's good too.
Yeah, and it has to be good. And it has to actually be good. And as of late, it's been things that people want more than just what they need. Like it used to be because they needed Office. Yeah. I mean, and now in a lot of ways, it's because they prefer Office. I mean, like people went to Google because they were like, oh, they got these collaboration features, because you're working online that you couldn't get from Microsoft. But now that they moved over to Office 365, you can get those things there and the old stuff that you loved about Office originally.
And I think too, don't they say, and then like with Office 365, you get the whole like collaborative functionality, right? And the cloud features.
Yeah, you get Teams and all that stuff. So
like how much it costs. So I think is it cheaper? I think it's like it's either around it's a subscription. So I think
it's a subscription. It's a little bit more. But it's something that people are used to.
You kind of cancel anytime or something like that.
Yeah, it's $99 a year. It's $99 a year. It's roughly $100. You just buy Office 365. You get the version that you install on your computer like you always did, but then you also get the cloud stuff, which they lean you into using for real. So like all of that, but at 99 compared to something like Google where they do this at $6 a month, it roughly equal to like if they do the whole year, $60 a month. But it's a matter of brand loyalty. At that point, you got $40 worth of brand loyalty. How much is it worth to you, type thing? I mean, and in a place where Microsoft is still the number one productivity tool, it makes sense to stay there in a lot of cases, unless you are comfortable making that transition.
There's more. How can I say it? More accessibility, as well as the help that people. So, for example, with Google, what's interesting about that? Yeah, exactly. What's interesting about that is that with like the Google Suite, you're gonna find that you brought up actually a point that like at one point it was like it seemed like you had to use Microsoft Office, right? You had to. Most of the time it was always on your work laptops. It came with the laptops you bought. Well, it was always like that. But now that they have taken on this new model, it's like it's not like they're developing it into something where it's like, I guess, next gen productivity tools, right? But because of that, people paying that premium, they're able to offer, more like more amenities and more service for it. Whereas though with Google Suite stuff, some of the people don't really know how to handle like open source and like free things, because
Right.
you have to learn these things on your own. Whereas though Microsoft, they just they have the instructions there, and it may seem like very nuanced, but those are the things I feel like they carry it along the way to see like, well, people feel like it's more refined and it's a better product.
Right, and that's what it does. That's how they come across. That's how they introduce their stuff. Whereas G Suite very much learned how to do like a tutorial process to walk people through things, but they started off just sort of like, here, just test it out. I mean, and they're very much just an open model to adaptation, to adopting a new product. They very much just be like, just here it is, and you'll figure it out. Whereas Microsoft has learned how to walk people through things, and on a large scale, because they understand that it's required for like management, for productivity, for like a larger team environment. You kind of got to do these things, and Microsoft has just been in enterprise for long enough to know how to navigate that. And like I said, the legacy of it all is, it makes it a lot easier for transition if they don't really have to learn new terminology too much. Like if they don't have, if Office is still Office, and Word is still Word, and Docs is still Doc, or Spreadsheet is still Spreadsheet, or what is it called? Excel. Excel is still Excel, and PowerPoint is still PowerPoint.
Google over there.
Yeah. I just call them spreadsheets. So, like Excel spreadsheet. Like if the names are still the names, it makes it a lot easier for transition. Whether it's a newer piece of technology, they know the names and they can fly with that. And I mean, it just lets them go. And like you said, with the whole Xbox thing, even though they number 2 in consoles, they're number 2. I mean, people,
solid 2. They've been number 2.
I mean, people like to do that whole Ricky Bobby thing. Like, if you're not first, you last. But that don't mean shit. Like, if you number 2, that's still number 1. That's a lot. I mean, you number 1 like everybody else.
Yeah, it's like you ain't like number 2 by like a long. Like, it's not like a. You number 1 is 100, and then number 2 is 65. The number 2 is 99. Okay,
yeah, exactly. Like you still kicking. I mean, they number 2 in the cloud with Microsoft Azure. Like, they right behind AWS, and then it's Azure, and then it's Google Cloud. I mean, they number 2 with consoles with the Xbox. I mean, they number 1 with 365. I mean, there's other things that they don't make money in. Like, they can't really make money in mobile too much. They trying to figure out ways to do that with Teams, trying to get Teams on mobile, have people be social on Teams and stuff like that, work a little bit on mobile there. They do have their hardware components with Surface. I mean, they got the Surface laptops and the Surface tablets and the Surface Duo 2-screen book that don't really sell that well. But like, they trying to figure out things with the mobile world, but like, they still got a great lock on things right now, and that's what's keeping their money moving, man. That's what the subscription model is the thing, because you got a subscription model. That's consistent revenue. That's nonstop revenue.